You expect me to believe you solved this? Mr. Grant's voice cut through the room like a blade. Welcome, story family. Get ready for a tale of betrayal, brilliance, and burning truth. When a poor, quiet black student walks into class and shatters an unsolvable equation, he ignites a storm that exposes pride, prejudice, and one unforgettable twist. The news spread through the school like wildfire. Mr. Grant's giving away $2,000, someone shouted down the hallway. Kids dropped their lunches, books fell, everyone stopped to listen. $2,000. For most kids at Maplewood High, that was more money than they'd ever seen in one place. Mr. Grant, the math teacher everyone respected but secretly feared, had written a single equation on the big whiteboard that morning. The numbers looked like some strange code. 3x squared minus 7x plus 2 equals 2y squared plus 5y minus 10. He had circled it twice, then turned to the class. Whoever solves this, he said, his voice cold and confident, gets $2,000, cash. The class went silent. Everyone stared. You're joking, whispered Hannah from the front row. Mr. Grant smiled. Try me. He dropped a white envelope on his desk. It had the words, reward, written in bold black ink. $2,000, he repeated. For the right answer, you have 1 week. At lunch, the whole school buzzed with talk about the equation. Some said it was impossible. Others said it was a trick. Some whispered that Mr. Grant had been working on it for years. But one thing was clear. Every student wanted to try. Every student except one. His name was Malik Rivers. He was quiet, smart, and always sitting alone near the back of the class. His clothes were old, his shoes had holes, and his backpack was torn at the corner. Malik didn't talk much. He didn't laugh either. He lived with his mom in a tiny apartment above a laundromat. His dad had left when he was 7, and his mom worked night shifts at a hospital. She was tired all the time, but she always smiled for him. That night when Malik came home and told her about the reward, she gave a small laugh. $2,000, huh? You could buy me a new car, huh? Malik smiled faintly. Maybe. Then his face turned serious. Mom, what if I actually tried? She looked at him, soft eyes full of love and worry. Baby, that's math for geniuses. Mr. Grant is testing those kids who go to math clubs and competitions. You got enough on your plate. Malik stared at the floor. Yeah, he said, but he didn't mean it. That night, he couldn't sleep. He lay in bed staring at the ceiling, the numbers burning in his mind. 3x squared minus 7x plus 2 equals 2y squared plus 5y minus 10. He didn't understand it. Not yet. But something inside him whispered, you can figure this out. So at 1 a.m., Malik got up quietly and went to the kitchen table and pulled out his old notebook. He wrote the equation again and again, filling 3 pages with guesses, scribbles, and drawings of arrows. He worked until his eyelids dropped. When he finally fell asleep, his head rested on the notebook, ink smudged across his cheek.
The next morning, at school, everyone was talking about their progress. Tom said his brother's a college student, and even he can't solve it. I heard it's from a NASA test. No one's gonna get it. Mr. Grant just smiled each time he heard the gossip. He didn't say a word. He only waited. Malik sat in the back, quiet. He wanted to ask Mr. Grant about the problem, but he didn't dare. Mr. Grant was known to be strict, especially with him. Some said the teacher didn't like Malik. Others said it was just the way Mr. Grant was. But Malik remembered the first time he raised his hand in class last year. Mr. Grant had said, "Are you sure you know what you're talking about?" in that sharp voice that made everyone look. Since then, Malik rarely spoke. By Thursday, most students had given up. "I swear it's impossible," Hannah said, slamming her notebook shut. "He's just making us suffer." But Malik kept going. Every night, he worked under the dim kitchen light while his mom slept on the couch. He tried every number he could think of. He made graphs. He wrote equations he'd seen online. On the fifth night, something clicked. He noticed that if he replaced the x with y plus 1, some of the numbers began to balance. Not perfectly, but close. "Wait," he whispered. His heart started to race. He grabbed another page, writing faster, lines of math falling together like puzzle pieces. By 3 a.m., he was sweating, breathing hard, his pencil shaking. And then it happened. He found it, the missing link. The solution made the whole equation true. He stared at the page in disbelief. "Is this real?" he whispered. He checked again. It worked every time. Malik stood up, nearly knocking his chair over. He laughed, quiet, breathless. He had done it. He solved the unsolvable equation. The next morning, he didn't tell anyone. He wanted to wait until the right moment, to see Mr. Grant's face when he realized who had solved it. That day, Mr. Grant announced, "Tomorrow is the last day. Anyone with an answer, bring it to me before 3 p.m. After that, the contest is closed." Everyone groaned. But Malik sat there, calm, the paper folded neatly in his pocket. After class, Mr. Grant stopped him. "Rivers." "Yes, sir?" "You haven't said a word all week. Not interested in the challenge?" "Maybe I am." He chuckled. "I doubt it. This one's not for beginners." Malik's hands clenched around his notebook. He bit his tongue and walked out. He didn't sleep that night either. The next day, Friday, the hallways buzzed with noise again. One by one, students came to Mr. Grant's desk, handing in their answers. He looked at each, nodded politely, and set them aside. Some he didn't even open. By 2:45 p.m., only one student hadn't submitted anything. Malik. As the bell rang, Mr. Grant looked around. "Anyone else?" Silence. "Then that's all," he said, smiling, as he began packing up. That's when Malik stood up. "Sir," he said quietly. Mr. Grant looked up. "Yes, Rivers?" "I have the answer." The whole class turned to stare. A few students snickered. "You?" Tom said. "No way." Mr. Grant's smile faded a little. "Well," he said slowly, "let's see what you've got." Malik walked up to the front, his heart pounding like a drum. He laid the paper on the desk. Mr. Grant unfolded it. For a long time, he said nothing. His eyes scanned the page once, twice, 3 times. His lips moved silently as he checked the numbers. Then his face changed. Not shock, not confusion. Something darker. "Where did you get this?" he asked. His voice was low, tight. "I solved it," Malik said softly. "You're telling me you—" He stopped, looked at the paper again, then back at Malik. "You expect me to believe you figured this out? I worked all week. Ask me anything about it." The class went quiet. You could hear the clock ticking. Mr. Grant looked at him for a long time, then said, "This is impossible." "I can explain it," Malik said, reaching for the paper. But Mr. Grant snapped, "Sit down, Rivers." Malik froze. Mr. Grant folded the paper, slipped it into his folder, and said nothing else. The bell rang. Students began leaving, whispering. Malik stood there, unsure what had just happened. When the last student left, Mr. Grant said, without looking up, "Go home, Rivers." "But sir, the reward." "Go home." That night, Malik didn't eat. He sat on his bed, staring at the empty space where his paper had been. Something was wrong. He could feel it. The next morning, Saturday,
He went back to school. The doors were locked, but he knew Mr. Grant came early on weekends. Sure enough, when Malik looked through the window, he saw the teacher sitting at his desk, writing something. Malik knocked. Mr. Grant looked up, startled. Then his face hardened. "What are you doing here?" he asked through the glass. I just wanted to ask. Did I get it right?" Mr. Grant opened the door a few inches. "Go home, Rivers." "But, sir—" "The answer was already submitted," Mr. Grant interrupted. Malik blinked. "What?" "I received the correct solution yesterday from another student." "That's not true," Malik cried. "I gave you mine first." Mr. Grant's eyes narrowed. "Watch your tone." "Sir, please," Malik said, his voice shaking. "I worked all week. You saw my paper." "The discussion is over," Mr. Grant said, and slammed the door shut. Malik just stood there, staring through the window at the teacher who was now calmly sealing an envelope, writing something on it with a black marker. Winner, Thomas Blake. Malik's breath caught. Tom, the same Tom who'd laughed at him. His fists trembled. "He stole my answer," he whispered. Then his voice cracked. "No, you did." He ran home, tears streaming down his face. His mom looked up as he burst through the door. "Malik, what happened?" He couldn't speak. He dropped to his knees, shaking. When he finally told her, she went pale. "You're saying your teacher took your answer?" He nodded. "He gave it to someone else." Her jaw tightened. "We're going back there." But Malik grabbed her hand. "No, Mom, not yet." His eyes were wet, but burning with determination. "I'm going to prove it."
If you are enjoying this story and eager to know how he proved it, kindly like, subscribe, and comment, "Prove it." Now, let's continue. Malik didn't sleep that night. He sat by the window, staring at the dark sky over the city. Every sound, a barking dog, a car engine, a siren in the distance, made his chest tighten. He kept replaying what happened. Mr. Grant had his paper. Then suddenly, Tom had the winning answer. No one could solve that equation except him. So how did Tom win? Sunday morning, Malik was still awake. When his mom came in, her face was drawn with worry. "Malik," she said softly, sitting beside him, "you can't let this man take your work." "I won't," he said, his voice flat. "But I have to be smart." She nodded. "Then be careful." Monday came. The school hallways buzzed again, just like the first day of the contest. Only now everyone was talking about the winner. Tom got the $2,000. He's a genius. Mr. Grant said he solved it in one night. Malik clenched his fists. His throat burned. When he got to class, Tom was surrounded by people. He was grinning, waving the white envelope full of cash. "Guess I'm smarter than I look," he laughed. Malik wanted to scream, but instead he walked straight to Mr. Grant's desk. "Sir, we need to talk." Mr. Grant didn't look up. "Class is starting, Rivers. Sit down." "No," Malik said. The class went still. Mr. Grant's eyes rose, cold and sharp. "Excuse me?" "I took your answer." "You gave it to Tom." A ripple of gasps moved through the room. Mr. Grant stood up slowly. "That's a serious accusation." "It's the truth," Malik said. "I can prove it." "Oh," Mr. Grant said. "And how do you plan to do that?" Malik took a deep breath. "Because the real answer, the one you copied, has my initials hidden inside it." The class froze. "What?" Mr. Grant frowned. "I wrote a note," Malik said, stepping forward. "In the margin, under the last step of the solution. I signed it M.R., Believe in yourself. It's small, but it's there. Every eye in the room turned to Mr. Grant. Tom's smile faded. Mr. Grant's lips tightened. "That's nonsense," he said. "Sit down before you embarrass yourself further." "Then show us the paper," Malik said. His voice was shaking, but strong. "Show everyone." For a long moment, no one moved. Then Hannah, from the front row, spoke. "Yeah, let's see it, Mr. Grant." Other students nodded. "If Tom won, then it's public. Let's see the work." Mr. Grant's face turned pale, then red. "You are all out of line." He reached into his folder, slamming a paper on the desk. "There, the winning answer. You can all see there's no trick." Malik stepped closer. The page was the same. His handwriting, his numbers, his symbols. His stomach twisted. He scanned the bottom corner. And there it was. Tiny letters, barely visible in pencil. M.R. Believe in yourself. The class erupted. "He's right! It's Malik's! Oh my God!" Tom's face went white. I didn't know," he stammered. He gave it to me." "Quiet," Mr. Grant snapped. But it was too late. Everyone saw the truth. That afternoon, the principal called them both to the office. Mr. Grant sat rigid, jaw tight, while Malik clutched his worn backpack, his hands trembling. Principal Davies leaned forward. "Now, Mr. Grant, this is serious. Did you or did you not submit Malik's paper under another student's name?" Mr. Grant swallowed. "I was testing something." "Testing," the principal said sharply. "Yes," Mr. Grant forced a smile. "I wanted to see if the class reacted differently depending on who the winner was. It was a social experiment. The equation wasn't important." "That's a lie," Malik shouted. "You stole my work because you didn't believe I could solve it." Mr. Grant slammed his hand on the desk. "You think you're special, Rivers? You think you're some kind of genius? I've been teaching math longer than you've been alive." "Then why did I solve it and not you?" Malik said quietly. The room went silent. Mr. Grant's eyes filled with something: anger, fear, shame. Principal Davies stood. "Mr. Grant, I think you should step outside." The teacher left, muttering under his breath. Davies turned to Malik. "You did the right thing speaking up. We'll make this right." Malik stared at the floor. "Does that mean I get the reward?" Davies smiled gently. "You'll get more than that, son." The next day, the story spread beyond the school. Student exposes teacher in $2,000 math scandal. Reporters showed up, news vans parked outside. People wanted to meet the boy who solved the unsolvable equation. Mr. Grant was suspended. Tom confessed everything, how Mr. Grant had given him the paper, told him to claim it, and promised extra credit. By the end of the week, Malik got his $2,000 check. But that wasn't what mattered most. What mattered was the way people looked at him now, not with pity or doubt, but respect. Even the principal came to his math class to watch him explain the problem on the board. When Malik finished, the room erupted in applause. That evening, Malik sat at the kitchen table again, staring at the check. His mom came in, drying her hands. "You did it," she whispered. He smiled, tears in his eyes. "We did it, Mom." She hugged him tight. "I'm so proud of you." But the story didn't end there. 2 weeks later, a man in a gray suit came to the school. He asked to meet Malik. "Malik Rivers?" he said, shaking his hand. "My name is Dr. Harlan Pierce. I'm a professor at the State University. I read about what you did." Malik blinked. You saw that?" Dr. Pierce smiled. "Everyone in the math community did. That equation wasn't from a textbook. It was a modified version of an unsolved problem in number theory. You cracked it, something even graduate students struggle with." Malik's mouth dropped open. "I did?" "You did.
Dr. Pierce said. "And we'd like to offer you a place in our summer research program. Paid, of course. You'll learn from the best." Malik couldn't speak. When Dr. Pierce left, he turned to his mom. She was crying. "Malik," she said softly, "your life's about to change." The months flew by. Malik worked harder than ever before, studying, learning, exploring. He started to understand that math wasn't just numbers. It was a language, a story that connected everything. He met students from all over the world. Some had expensive laptops and fancy notebooks. Malik had his old one, the same with the ink stains and smudges. But when he spoke, they listened. Because he saw things differently, not like a machine, but like an artist. One evening, during the summer program, Dr. Pierce called him into his office. "Malik," he said, "I want to show you something." He opened a file and slid a photograph across the desk. It was of Mr. Grant. Malik froze. "Why do you have that?" Dr. Pierce leaned back. "Mr. Grant used to be my student, brilliant man, but he lost his way. That equation he gave your class, it was his obsession. He'd spent years trying to solve it, failed, and finally gave up." "So he made it a contest?" Dr. Pierce nodded. "I think he wanted to prove no one else could solve it either. When you did, it broke him, but maybe it also saved him." "Saved him?" Dr. Pierce smiled faintly. "Last week, he called me. He's getting help. Said he wants to start teaching again, differently this time." Malik didn't know what to say. Part of him still hated what Mr. Grant had done, but another part understood. When summer ended, Malik returned home. On the first day of school, the halls were quieter. Mr. Grant's classroom was empty, the door closed, the windows dark. But on his desk, someone had left a small brown envelope with Malik's name on it. Inside was a single note, written in careful handwriting. "Sometimes the hardest lesson is realizing who your students really are. Thank you for teaching me." And beneath it, taped neatly, was a $20 bill, the last of the stolen money, returned. Malik smiled. He didn't need revenge anymore. He had something better. He had proven himself. Years later, people would still talk about the $2,000 equation. It became a story told in classrooms, on the news, even in college lectures. But for Malik, it wasn't about fame or math or even justice. It was about believing when no one else did. Because sometimes the world doesn't see your light until it's shining
So bright to ignore. And when it does, you remember the words you once wrote to yourself on the corner of a notebook. MR, believe in yourself. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe if you truly enjoyed this school tale.